They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
And for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiai. Established by ICPC in a serene environment in Kefi, Nasarawa State, is the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, a manpower development institution enhancing a multidisciplinary approach to the anti-corruption crusade through training, research, documentation, and advisory services. Today's edition focuses on the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria and its functions in driving the National Anti-Corruption Project. First, let's join Joy Aja with Anti-Corruption Stories.
Hello viewers, thank you for joining us. I am Joy Aja with Anti-Corruption Stories. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, Senator Suleiman Abdulkwari, has commended the board and management of ICPC for its implementation of the 2020 budget and commitment to ensuring that corruption was minimized to the barest minimum in the society. Senator Kwari gave the commendation during the Senate Committee Oversight visit to assess the Commission's 2020 and first quarter 2021 budget performance, which also aims to acquaint them of challenges facing the Commission.
So we appreciate if the senators can be briefed on the performance of the 2020 budget, especially the capital aspects. And also if there are operational challenges, which we know are always very numerous from the experiences of other agencies, but you can highlight those that are most important to you as an institution. So with chairman, board members, and management staff, that is why the committee is on this oversight meeting. And also, I need to mention that for 2 years we have been planning to visit the commission, but of course this is God's appointed time, and we are indeed very grateful to be here. And finally, I would want to appreciate the chair, as I have always done, along with you members of the board and the general staff of ICPC for a job well done. So we commend you and we appreciate you immensely for what you have been doing for the nation.
Speaking during the visit, the chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN, outlined the 2020 achievements of the Commission to include assets recovery and seizure, prosecution of cases and convictions, assessment of MDAs on the ethics and integrity compliance scorecard, virtual and physical training programs, amongst others.
Our statutory mandate is threefold: enforcement, prevention, and public enlightenment and education. On this one page, we try to capture the utilization of both our capital and operational budget largely on this one page, showing the number of FTAs that we engage with, with scorecards on transparency and integrity, which indicates defaults to corruption and the guidance that we give them to ensure that it didn't happen, the number of petitions we received, the number of investigations that we concluded. Take note that the number of petitions we have nothing to do with us. So we do not dabble into that. We send them to the appropriate agencies, either the police, sometimes the EFCC, the Code of Conduct Bureau. It may just be a ministry or pension. We get quite a lot of petitions and pension before. The investigations we did that were not petition based but based on intelligence, the number of cases we filed in court, the convictions secured. Then of course an item which is of critical importance and interest to all Nigerians and especially the legislature, asset recovery. In terms of assets recovered, 82.57 billion in various formats, either cash into our recovery account, and the various sources have been indicated. Then another 147 billion that did not come through our account but was blocked in government account, remained there from personnel and capital and overhead costs of MDAs that were abused.
The highlight of the visit was a facilities tour of the forensics laboratory and ongoing projects within the Commission's premises. ICPC and the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers have resolved to partner in the recovery and management of corruptly acquired assets. The Secretary to the Commission, Professor Musa Usman Abubakar, who received the President of the institution, Estate Surveyor Emmanuel Okas Wike, and his team on behalf of the Commission recently, described the partnership as a welcome development. Professor Abubakar said asset recovery was one of the major components of the fight against corruption, adding that ICPC needed the support of experts such as estate surveyors in the valuation of recovered assets to ensure that the government was not shortchanged in the process of disposing recovered properties.
Asset recovery is one of the major components of the fight against corruption globally. In fact, the focus now is more to do with asset recovery. And for us to recover assets, we need the support of experts that really value the properties recovered, so that maybe when we are disposing them up, we will not dispose them up at a giveaway price and what have you. So your collaboration with the Commission is highly commended, and we are ever ready to support the Institute in whatever way possible.
In his reaction, the president of the institution, Estate Surveyor Wike, expressed his appreciation to ICPC for seeing the importance of working with other professionals, especially in the area of assets recovery and management. A major high point of the visit was the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Commission and the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Hello Nigerians, are you aware of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy NEIP? The policy takes into account the multicultural composition of Nigeria, and it is designed at restoring public trust and confidence in governance and influence a change of attitude among Nigerians. What can you as an individual do to push the NEIP? You can be accountable and transparent in your dealings in either the public or private sector by upholding the following 7 core values: human dignity, voice and participation, patriotism, personal responsibility, integrity, national unity, and professionalism. Remember to uphold the 7 core values wherever you are and in whatever you do. For more information and inquiries, reach us via the contacts displayed on your screen. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC.
ACAN is sustainably providing necessary connection between theory and practice in the capacity development of ICPC staff and other stakeholders, fighting corruption and promoting integrity in governance. The Academy also strives to build up a body of knowledge that will facilitate the development of knowledge-based anti-corruption policies in the country. Let's listen to the head of training at ACAN, Mr. Richard Bello, as he tells us more about the institution.
ACAN was set up primarily to develop the capacity of ICPC officials to better tackle corruption and do better on their jobs. But apart from that, ACAN is also open to staff of other anti-corruption agencies. Indeed, when trainings are conducted for ICPC staff, staff of other anti-corruption agencies are normally invited to be part of the training. ACAN offers thematic conferences, seminars, and workshops on general issues, or specifically on anti-corruption. We also offer mandatory induction and refresher courses for ACTUs. ACTU is an acronym for Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit. They are more like a microcosm of ICPC. They help the ICPC fight corruption in MDAs, and knowing that based on the staff strength of the commission, it is almost impossible to be everywhere. So they do mini work for the ICPC, apart from the job of prosecution. We also offer certificate courses, and indeed the Academy is at an advanced stage of rolling out its diploma courses as well as master's programs. We offer specialized programs for officials of public sector agencies. We collaborate with other agencies where necessary. We work with professional bodies and organize the private sector to address sector-specific issues. We are also into consultancy services on anti-corruption, on ethics and integrity, and on designing, helping institutions to design institutional mechanisms to institutionalize the fight against corruption. Apart from all this, we offer bespoke or customized training programs for agencies, both in the public sector and in the private sphere. And as part of our vision of becoming a regional hub for anti-corruption in Africa, the tentacles of ACAN also spread to the sub-region and indeed the African region. And as part of that, we've had course to train participants from other anti-corruption agencies in Africa, specifically heads of anti-corruption agencies in Africa. We've trained officers from NACIWA, sponsored by ECOWAS. And just last year, we trained officials of Togo, the anti-corruption agency in Togo. And what this entails, by implication, is that ACAN is able to train in other languages. This particular program I referred to for heads of African anti-corruption agencies was translated in 3 major languages, simultaneous translation in English language, in Portuguese, as well as French language. Apart from training in general, what distinguishes ACAN from most anti-corruption agencies, if not all, in Africa, is that, like you said in your intro, we offer research, we go into research, and we do knowledge-based, we disseminate knowledge. So we generate knowledge to affect policy making on anti-corruption and on issues of corruption. And specifically, what we do is to take on issues on the front burner in the public domain, gather eggheads in that particular area, and brainstorm and come up with a brief at the end of the dialogue. This helps us to take advantage of the functions of the ICPC, specifically in sections 6C and 6D of its Act, which allows us to advise government bodies. So we don't just advise government based on what we hear from the public, but we also advise government based on empirical evidence, based on thorough research, so that whatever policies are formed at the end of the day have lasting implications.
In response to challenges and needs through its consultancy program, ACAN has so far conducted specialized training programs and corruption risk assessment for various organizations, both public and private, including state governments, to design and implement anti-corruption strategies. The purpose is to achieve a corruption-free society so that anti-corruption agencies would have less work arresting corrupt people. What has been the modus operandi and achievements of ACAN so far? Again, Mr. Richard Bello explains further.
As you would expect, our trainings are guided by several factors. First, perhaps on feedback from organizations. Organizations specifically write us to say that's talking about bespoke programs now, customized programs. They write us to say we need trainings in this area or that area. So for such requests, we design programs targeted at the areas of need. Now, apart from that, based on issues on the front burner in the economy, based on our strategic plan, because we have a plan, we have what we plan to do every year, and then based on feedbacks from the programs we conduct, but we don't believe we know it all. When we run programs, we administer questionnaires that help our facilitators do better, and also give us a direction for coming years. So all this put together, when we do our annual retreat towards the end of the year, staff and management come together, we brainstorm, we look at all such issues, and then we plan for the coming year. So specifically, our programs are targeted at, like I said earlier, the public sector as well as the private, those in the private sphere. We run short programs, 2-day, 3-day programs. We also run certificate programs, some 2 weeks, for some 4 weeks. And then we do what we call, we conduct annual conferences, anti-corruption conferences. We've had 2 of that. And lest I forget, we also, as part of the research we carry out, this has been on our mind, and we're able to effect that last year. You would know, I'm sure you must have heard about Transparency International and several other bodies that do research, as part of giving the research in Nigerian perspective, an indigenous perspective, ACAN went into a survey which we call the Nigeria Corruption Index. This is a survey on grand corruption in Nigeria. We were able to successfully carry out the pilot of that survey last year. We're believing that this year we'll be able to take it to the next level. Over the years, I think ACAN started sometime late 2014, and then till date we've had over 16,000 participants attend our programs, and this cover the various categories that I mentioned earlier: the public sector, Act 2 members, bespoke trainings, conferences, workshops, seminars, anti-corruption summits, and so on. And they also cut across the 3 tiers of government and the 3 arms of government. And on policy dialogues, I mentioned policy dialogues earlier. We've had 2 so far. There was a policy dialogue on eradicating electoral corruption with a specific focus on vote buying. There was also another one on accountability for security votes. Then on policy briefs, of course, policy briefs emanate from each of the policy dialogues we conduct. So there were 2 policy briefs from the 2 policy dialogues focusing on the topics that I listed earlier.
As we observe safety measures, and support our health and frontline workers in fighting COVID-19, corruption, abuse of power, diversion, and misuse of public funds approved for mitigating the impact of coronavirus must be exposed. Be a coronavirus whistleblower. Report abuse in the management of COVID-19 fund and palliatives to ICPC on toll-free number 0800 2255 4272 or AfricMail on 0811 877 1666. Email tips@corruptionanonymous.org. This message is from the African Center for Media and Information Literacy, AfricMail, in partnership with ICPC.
In January 2021, a new provost, Professor Gabriel Olatunde Babawale, was appointed for Akan. He is a professor of political economy currently on secondment from the University of Lagos. Professor Babawale previously served as a member of the board of Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. He also served as the director and chief executive officer of the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, among many others. The entire ICPC family is saying congratulations. Akan is equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. The Academy's facilities are open to hire by any government organization, private establishment, or professional body for purposes of mini-conferences, seminars, workshops, business meetings, professional exams, promotion tests, and aptitude tests. As a regional center for anti-corruption studies, the Academy training programs are also deliverable in major international languages. This is all this edition can take. Do not forget to join next week, Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. for another edition of the program. You can also watch missed editions on www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. Bye for now.